Senator Tim Scott has gone onto The View. He's gone into the lion's den, the cougar's den, I don't know what animals they are. He's gone into some sort of den. And he's defended his position as a Republican, specifically as a black Republican. And he did it pretty successfully.
You have indicated that you don't believe in systemic racism. What is your definition of systemic racism?
Let me answer the question that you've answered.
Or does it even exist in your mind?
Let me answer the question this way. One of the things I think about, and one of the reasons why I'm on the show, is because of the comments that were made, frankly, on this show, that the only way for a young African-American kid to be successful in this country is to be the exception and not the rule. That is a dangerous, offensive, disgusting message to send to our young people today, that the only way to succeed is by being the exception. I will tell you that if my life is the exception, I can't imagine.
But it is.
But it's not, actually. It's
been 114 years.
Yeah, so the fact of the matter is we've had an African-American president, African-American vice president. We've had 2 African-Americans to be secretaries of the state. The fact of the matter is that progress in America is palpable. It can be measured in generations. I look back at the fact that my grandfather, born in 1921 in Sally, South Carolina, when he was on a sidewalk, a white person was coming, he had to step off and not make eye contact. That man believed then, with some doubt now, in the goodness of America.
Tim Scott is really great in this setting. Tim Scott is not great on campaign rally stages. You might remember his campaign announcement was not quite at a Howard Dean level of, yeah, but it was bordering on that. And then the microphone went out and he handled it as well as he could. But that's not where he shines. There are many candidates who do a lot better on the campaign rally stage. Tim Scott does really, really well here. I've only gotten to meet Senator Scott, I think, a couple of times now. He was on the Verdict podcast with Ted Cruz when I hosted that show. And one-on-one in an intimate setting, he's great. He's really, really persuasive, compelling, seems like a really sincere, genuine guy. And so when everything's a little quieter and toned down here and he can just make his case to the women on The View, that's really compelling stuff. The problem for Tim Scott's presidential campaign is where the conversation went next.
So what I'm suggesting is that yesterday's exception is today's rule. And for us to suggest...
So America has met its promise.
No, of course, the concept of America is that we are going to become a more perfect union. But in fact, the challenges that we faced 50 years ago and 60 years ago should not be the same challenges that we face today. And here's the way that you measure that. When my mother was born, about 10% of African Americans got a high school degree, diploma. Today, it's over 90%. When you look at the income,
when you look at this, when you look at that, everything's getting better. So Tim Scott is making his presidential campaign a progressive presidential campaign. Head on over to carsing.com/Knowles. Buying a new car can be a stressful experience for anyone, especially if you're a first-time buyer or have no credit. Before you walk into a dealership and spend the entire day with the crowd, stress, and potential to not even find the right car, you need to check out Carsing. Carsing is completely changing the way you buy a car online. By partnering with credit agencies, lenders, and over 25,000 dealers nationwide, Carsing provides you with everything you need before stepping foot into a dealership. Once you find the right car at your ideal budget, all you have to do is bring your saved deal voucher with you to the dealership to finalize your next ride. It is super simple. Even if you're not in the market for a new car, check out Carsing anyway. Carsing's online window shopping experience goes beyond mere images. You can dive deep into each vehicle's specifications, features, and performance capabilities, zoom in on craftsmanship of the interior, marvel at cutting-edge technology, and admire the meticulous attention to detail that sets these automobiles apart from the rest. Carsing helps make your experience faster, cheaper, less stressful. Go to carsing.com/Knowles. Find the best deals near you. carsing.com/Knowles. Right now, go to ramp.com/Knowles. Are you looking for a better way to simplify your business finances across expenses, vendor payments, and accounting? If so, Ramp could be a complete game changer for your business. Ramp is a corporate card and expense management software designed to help you save time and money. With Ramp, you can issue cards to every employee with limits and restrictions and automate expense reporting so you can stop wasting time at the end of every month. Ramp's accounting software automatically collects receipts and categorizes your expenses in real time so you don't have to. The time you'll save each month on employee expenses will allow you to close your books 8 times faster. Businesses that use Ramp save an average of 3.5% within the first year. Ramp is easy to use. Get started in less than 15 minutes, whether you have 5 employees or 5,000. Right now, get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/Knowles. That is RAMP.com/Knowles, K-N-W-L-E-S. Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. His pitch is that America is always getting better, and so things might not be great now, but they're going to be better in the future. And so stop complaining and don't raise questions that are too harsh about America, because look at how much better things are today than they used to be. And there are a lot of Republicans who have made this sort of an argument. And in certain cases, I guess it's true. In certain cases, things are better today than they used to be, but in other cases, they're not. That's true for everybody. That's true. He's talking there specifically about Black Americans. In certain ways, the lives of Black Americans are better today than they used to be. In many ways, though, they're worse. Out-of-wedlock births are way worse right now than they used to be for Black Americans. Marriage rates, way lower than they used to be for Black Americans. Crime rates, murder rates, way worse than they used to be for Black Americans. So things aren't just totally getting better. The country is not in a place right now where either side wants to hear, oh, America's doing really, really great. Stop complaining. Just grit your teeth and bear it. Put a smile on your face. And if we wish that the country is in nice shape, maybe it will be. Think about Trump's campaign. Trump's successful campaign in 2016 was the country's in absolute turmoil. We're all living in the gutter. The country is as bad as it's ever been, and we need to make America great again. That's very different from the rosy, kind of right-wing, liberal, progressive, conservative. I know it sounds like these words are contradictory, but they're not really. The not radical progressive view, but the kind of conservative progressive view of Tim Scott, who says things keep getting better, and don't worry, they're going to continue to get better into the future. I don't know that that's going to work. I don't think that's where the country is right now. I certainly don't think that's where the Republican Party is right now. And it only tells half the story. And I think if you're going to make a pitch right now where we've got really low approval of where the country is, I think you've got to tell that other half of the story, which is, no, a lot of things have gotten worse, and a lot of things have gotten worse because of progressivism. If Tim Scott's going to run a progressive presidential campaign, he's going to end up in the same position that DeSantis is likely going to end up in with Donald Trump, which is, why would you vote for the imitation when you can get the original? Why would you vote for the imitation progressive when you can get the tried and true OG progressive Democrat? Why would you go to Pete's Coffee when you can get Starbucks? Why would you go to Carl's Jr. today when you could get McDonald's? Why would you vote for a guy who says, no, progress is happening and progress is good, when you get the person who really totally believes that with all of its implications? He's got to work that out. He could be a really compelling presidential candidate, especially if he can play to his strengths, like in those more intimate settings, which today with the way social media work, you probably could do that. But I think he's got to fine tune that message. Boy, what a great clip that was. Make sure you ring that bell, subscribe to the Michael Knowles YouTube channel. See you next time.